All right, everybody. Again, my name is Evan with KWRI Marketing, and today's class is Command Overview. So to get started, we're actually going to go ahead and start by going to agent.kw.com, which is going to bring us to our command login screen. It should look just like this. You're going to enter your KW username. Now, keep in mind, your username is not case sensitive, but your password is case sensitive. So make sure that your password has any capitalization, make sure that's entered correctly. And please be sure that if you don't add any extra spaces before or after your password, because that will not allow you access either. Now, if you would like to look at your password as you're entering it, you can go ahead and just click on this little eyeball and it will show you your password. And if you're having difficulties signing in, maybe you did forget your password, there is the forgot password option down here at the bottom. If you when you click in that, it will send a code over to your password recovery email that you have on file. I will be showing you a little bit later on where you're able to find a password recovery email, so that way you can make sure that if you do get locked out or you forget your password, you could reset it later on. So once you have your information entered, you can go ahead and click sign in. And this will go ahead and take you to your command dashboard. Alrighty, so from your command dashboard, your dashboard should look similar to this. If it looks a little different, that's perfectly fine. I will be going over how this can be kind of edited, so yours may look a little different. All right, so we're going to get started at the top up here. So the first thing that you should see over here in the top left is going to be the command. Now, command is just obviously going to be your command database, your dashboard. The one right next to it, connect, it's like a learning hub, has all different kinds of classes that you can look into, things like that, different modules. Now, if you do see a third option over here that's next to the connect that says Command MC, this is something that is only available to Market Center staff. So if you do hold some kind of staff role with your Market Center, you should see Command MC. If you do not see Command MC and you are part of your Market Center staff, I would reach out to your MCA, because they will be the ones that will be able to give you access to that. And vice versa, if you see Command MC and you are not part of staff, you would reach out to your MCA to have that removed. Moving right along, we're going to go right down here towards the right. You should see a little storefront icon, and this is going to be the marketplace. This is where you're able to go and download different applications that are able to connect with your command. Keep in mind, when you are downloading some of these applications, some of them do have paid subscriptions, and it will tell you about that in the description as well. So just make sure you're keeping an eye on that. But this is where you're able to connect things like Twilio, things like that. Right next to the marketplace, we do have this little bell icon, which has this little red dot, and then sometimes you'll see this little red circle over here with the number. This is just your notifications. And this notification also, this number just lets you know how many unread notifications that you currently have. Kind of like on your phone, if you don't open your emails or your text messages, that number that just kind of builds up there, that's basically what this is. When you click on your notifications, you'll see that you do have your unread section, and then you also have your read section. So any of your read notifications will be over here, as well as your unread on this side. If you want to kind of filter your search, what you're seeing, you can just click on this all notifications drop down, and you can select which kind of notifications you may be wanting to see. If you want to clear this, number, the 138, to where you don't see that anymore, you can just scroll down here to the bottom where it says mark all as read, so that way that number will zero out. We're going to go ahead and skip over this part for just a moment. We're going to go ahead and go over to the circle with the question mark in it. This is going to be your help and information center. So there's things like guided tours for command. You have the Keller Williams University. You also have chat with support. So if you ever need to reach out to KW support, say per our instruction, or if you're having any issues, you can click on chat with support here. And you're going to have this little pop-up window. And then you're going to want to just click Get in Touch. And then you'll have a live chat option where you can chat with the live representative. Now, sometimes if it's before or after hours, there may be, instead of live chat, it may say leave a message where you can just write out your question or whatever you're needing assistance with, and they'll get back to you during their business hours. All right, so moving back over here to where you should see your name and your little, if you have your headshot added, it'll show your headshot here or whatever logo you may have added here. When you click on this drop down, if you are part of a team, you should see at the very top above referrals profile, you should see a little section that'll have your team name. Now, the way you can always tell what account you are in is whichever one is showing at the very top here. So this was the personal, the team would be right underneath. You are able to switch the default on those, which I can show you in just a little bit where that option would be. So first thing we have here is our referrals profile. The referrals profile is your profile for all the KW referral agents that may be searching using the KW referral app and here in Command. This is what the information that they will see when they're searching for the referral agent in your area. Moving along, you have your My Profile. Now, your My Profile, this is going to be the public-facing information about you. Moving right over here along the top to the right, you'll have this little option that says Display My Profile on KW.com. And you can either have this toggled on or toggled off. So whenever somebody goes on KW.com looking for an agent, do you want them to be able to find you and your information? If you do not, just make sure you give this a click to where it is toggled off and they cannot search you. But then go through here and you're going to say, make sure your information is updated correctly. Make sure you have all the information added here. Going to the next section, you'll see over here on the left-hand side, we have the My KW. Oh, I do see we have a question. So that today is command overview, KJack. So the My KW, this is going to be internal information. My pleasure. Your internal information about you. So this information is only able to be seen by your Market Center staff and yourself. So you have things like your KWUID. This number is used mostly by staff members, but if you ever register for things like family reunion, at least it used to, I'm not sure if it still does, they used to ask for this number when registering, things like that. That's where you can find your KWUID. Below that, you have your KW email address. This is going to be your primary email address. If you need to say you want to update your information, your email, or you want to add an alias, or update your KW email password, you can click on Manage your KW email and it's going to bring you to another page, email accounts, and then you'll see your information here. This is the section where you can update your password as well. All right, below that, we're going to have our login credentials. This is going to show you your username and your password. If you would like to update your KW username, you can just click on Edit here and you can change that username. If you want to change your password, you can click on this little link right below it. And then below that, we have our password recovery email. So this is the email address if you ever get locked out of Command, you forget your password and you need to reset your password. Clicking Forgot Password will send that code to the email address that is shown here. Scrolling down, we have personal information. So just some contact information for you. What is your preferred to receive official KW Communications email address? So that's a good one to make sure that you have updated as well. And along with some other more personal information down below. If you look down here over on the left-hand side, you'll see a section that says My Affiliations. You should see whichever market center that you are a part of. You should see that market center shown here, as well as like if your MLS information has been added to your Command account, you should see your MLS here. If you are part of multiple market centers, you should see both of those market centers down here as well. Now, when you click on the market center, you should now see things like your role, your more ID. There's also now the features for agents. Obviously, we're not an agent account, but when you click on this, you should see things such as like your cap information, company dollar, how much you paid into it, and how much, like how long you have until you cap, things like that. You should be able to see all of that information now from clicking on your market center here. All right, we're going to go back to our, I don't know why it takes you back to your Connect profile, but so going back to our drop down here, now we're going to go ahead and go to our settings. So the settings page here, this is where you can find all of the connected applications. There's a lot of them that are defaulted here based off your market center, the way they have the setup. So if your market center uses DocuSign versus .loop, that should automatically be in here. Whether it's connected or not, you should still see DocuSign in here. Some market centers do use .loop, so .loop may be shown in here as well. But you have the name and the logo of the application. You'll see at the bottom here in these boxes, you'll see what email address is currently connected with that application. You'll see the status over here. So whether it's connected, disconnected, how many accounts may be connected. You'll see that in this column. And then you'll find the manage application options over here on the far right. So if you want to disconnect it, manage, if it needs to be connected, things like that. We're going to go ahead and scroll down, and we're going to actually take a look into our command email today. So we're going to go ahead and click on manage. Now with your command email address, we're going to scroll to the bottom and you're going to see this email configuration section. Under sender name, this is the information that when you send an email to somebody in your database, say Smart Plan, Campaign, or with the new features, how to send a one-off email to your contacts, this is what the name's going to show when your client receives that email. So you always want to make sure that this is updated correctly with your correct name and the reply to email address. So that way your client doesn't receive an email coming from a bunch of random numbers or anything like that, and then they end up spamming. Because now KW, if you get a certain number of percentage of emails that you send out spammed, they can suspend your account. So the way to be able to tell with that, so you see this health status is currently good. After a certain point, it will turn yellow as a warning if you get a high number of spams. And then if you get to reach the threshold amount, they will suspend your account. So what they'll do is they'll suspend it for 4 weeks, and you have to take this little email best practices training class and a quiz before they unsuspend your account. So we want to make sure to avoid that if possible. And I will show you later on, we'll see when we get into the report section, you'll be able to see how what the percentage and everything is, like where the percentage of spams are, just in case you want to keep an eye on that a little more. So you also have this here in this middle section, the monthly account usage. So you are allotted 5,000 free emails per month. So if you have a very high database, you do a lot of emails, you stay in strong communication with them, you may need more than 500 a month, which you are able to purchase more using this manage subscription button. And you will see this button a lot, a couple of different places throughout today's class as well. All right, so next over here on the left-hand side in this section, we're going to go into a couple of these. So we have general settings. You have your notification preference here. If you were a part of a team, if you had a team account, this is where you'd be able to see the default account option to where, say, you only work out of your team command account. So whenever you log in, you just want it to log straight into your team account instead of having to go over and switch it. This is where you can change that default preference. Command settings, you have a lot of different areas here. So your contacts, you have your contact archive is here, you have your lead sources, things like that. Next, we have our connect settings. This is where you are able to find your marketing profile. Now, a lot of people get a little confused with the marketing profile and the My KW section, the information that's on there. If you add your headshot and your bio and everything to that My KW section, it will not transfer over to your website or your app. This is where that information on your website pulls from, is the marketing profile. So if you're not wanting your website to be branded to you for whatever reason, you are able to disable that by using this toggle here, and it will kind of take away your branding from your website, and it'll just show as a generic kw.com website. Or if it is off, this is turned off and you want to make sure your information is shown, just make sure you toggle this on. All right, so scrolling down, you're going to see some sections that have this red asterisk next to it. That means that it is a required field. There are some sections that do not have it as well. So as you can see, the My Photo, this is a required field to have in order to save any information. We do recommend that all of your photos any photo that you do add is a perfect square. Like you see, the recommended size is 360 by 360. It doesn't have to be 360 by 360. We kind of just suggest it is right around those pixels. But a perfect square is preferable because otherwise it's going to kind of make you look like a funhouse mirror, to where it's either like long and stretched out skinny or short and stout. So making sure it's a perfect square is kind of important. Now, as you can see below, the team logo is not a required field. However, whenever you send smart plans or you send campaigns, there is a footer at the bottom of those that when you send them out. And on that footer, there's going to be two spots. One is going to have your photo, and the other one is going to have a team photo. Even though you're not on a team, there is that photo file that's going to be shown there. So if you do not have a team logo here, or you have any kind of logo added here, that image is going to show as a broken image and it's going to look kind of tacky. So we suggest using a team logo if you're on a team. If you have your own personal logo you like to use, you can add that here. Or if you just want to use like a generic KW logo, that works as well. And just keep in mind that the recommended size is the same as this. So if you have any issues or you would like some assistance to have that added for you, by all means, send it over to us, support@scottleroymarketing.com. Send us your username and password in the photo, and we'll be more than happy to get that added for you. Scrolling down, we do have some My Details. So here, you have your name, you have your license number, team. If you're on a team, you want to put that team name there. If not, you don't have to. You can just put Keller Williams, put whatever you'd like. You have a section for your job title, any slogans you may have, and then there's a section for your designations and credentials. Moving along, we have our affiliations. If you have any military affiliation, this is your spot to add that. So if you're active duty, you can add what branch you're from. If you are from a different country and you served in the military there is all kinds of different options for those as well. If you are not a part of military, there are other options here, military spouse, things like that. There's even an option for supporter patriot. If you just want to show your support for the military, you can do that by adding that as well. Moving along, you see that we have our bio section is up next. Now, again, this is a required field. If you do not have a professional bio created yet, don't worry about it. We suggest just putting a period here as a placeholder, so that way it does allow you to save all the rest of your information. And then you can come back and add your professional bio later on. Below the bio, you have your contact information, your preferred email address, your website URL. If you use your KW website, you'll be able to find that URL later on when we go to our consumer section. You can find the URL to add here as well. Below that, we have our market center information, our brokerage, the name, contact information. things like that. Keep in mind when we do your onboarding, your setup, most of this information will be added. So you don't typically have to worry about that, but if it's not added, feel free to reach out to us so we can assist you with that. Same thing with this next section, the compliance section. If we do your tech setup, we generally know what market centers in which states require what, like the IABs and things like that forms. We will add those for you. But however, if you need to update them, you want to update them yourself, this is the section where you go to do that. So any legal footer text will be entered here. If you need to add any links, you can just click add another link, put the title and the URL. If you need to delete any of the ones that maybe are outdated, there should be this little trash can icon next to it where you can just click on that and it'll remove it for you. Now, right here, you see this little legal footer image. Keep in mind, this is a very tiny file size image. So if you were to add anything to right here, this is going to show up like the size of a dime, if not smaller. It's really tiny. So we suggest if you do want to use this for anything, you can add the realtor logo, you can add like the fair housing, you can add just one of those kind of smaller logos because it is a very tiny. Moving along, you have your social media links. So on your website, there is under your head where your headshot is on your website, there is little sections that you can click where clients can click and it will take to your social media links. This is where you add those links for them to be able to click on that. And then the last part on this page, you have your Google Analytics ID. Now, there is another place that your Google Analytics tracking ID goes, so it's not just going to be here. Guys, if you don't know anything about Google Analytics, Google Analytics is basically a way to track the activity on your website, the traffic, who's clicking, how many people are viewing your website, things like that. If you're interested in setting this up, feel free to reach out to us, support@KWRImarketing.com, and we'll be more than happy to assist you with getting that set up and connected for you. All right, so this was our marketing profile. We're going to go ahead and go back to our dashboard. Now, guys, I know we've had a lot of new people join us. I'm going to, if we update our bio this way, will the changes show on all platforms? So this is going to show on update on your website and your app, doing it through your marketing profile. Oh, guys, and keep in mind too that any updates that you make on your marketing profile, they do not instantly update to your website or your app. They do take, so according to support, they do say that it can take up to 24 hours. Typically, we see them update within 1 to 2, maybe even less. So they shouldn't take too long to update. But there are places page where I was showing it before. If you go to like your My Profile, there is the section biography here. This is the public facing biography that shows on the KW.com, which is the Keller Williams like generic website. There's also the biography section. Go back to it under your referrals profile that you do have to update through the referrals profile here. So the marketing profile does not update it everywhere. It only updates it on your website and your app there, which I do think is kind of a cool thing because I kind of recommend whenever, like tomorrow, we actually have the referrals overview tomorrow. My pleasure. And when I go over this tomorrow, I do kind of tell people that this does give you an opportunity to, if you want to change your bio to be more like for referral facing versus your generic bio to your clients, this is the bio that people are going to see when they're looking for somebody for a referral agent. So you can tweak this to kind of make it more focused towards the referral side versus a client. So it's up to you, however you want to do it though. All right, so guys, anybody that has joined recently, this is Command Overview. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and drop them in the chat. If I see that the question came in, I'll try to answer it pretty quickly. Or if not, we'll just go over them at the end of the class. And again, this class is being recorded, so you will have access to view this later on today on our YouTube channel, which I will show you at the end of class as well, how to access that information as well. So, all right, so moving along. we have our command dashboard. Now, at the beginning of the class, I did say that your dashboard may look similar but different to mine. Well, Kate's, I should say. That's because there is a customize option here. So when you click on customize, it gives you the option to select what widgets you would like to see on your home screen. So you can select which widgets you want, which widgets you don't want, and then you're able to drag and drop them to reorder them to what you would like. So once you have them rearranged, once you've played around with them, you click apply, you'll see that your homepage now updates accordingly. So I'm going to go ahead and, just for the sake of class, I'm going to go ahead and click on those. All right. So first widget that we see here is our goals. If you have set up your goals through the goals section, which I'll kind of touch on later on, this is where you'll be able to see those goal breakdowns. Next to that, you see our product updates. This is by KWRI. This shows you what new updates are being released, what you can expect to see, things like that. So this is a great way to stay in the know about new product updates from Command, DocuSign, anything like that from KW. Below that, we have your tasks. So if you are, I'm seeing that you have past due tasks from any of your smart plans, anything like that, any tasks you may have just created by yourself. This is where you can keep track of your tasks that need to be done. Next, we have our notepad. If you want to just type a quick note while you're talking on the phone with the client or something like that, you can just type in a quick note here. Next, you have your database health score. So this is just letting you know how your database is looking. So what percentage of your database has phone numbers, what percentage of your database has an email, things like that. So just letting you know where areas you can improve on your database. You know, the most information you can gather, the better. Staying in communication, staying in touch, getting that information to your clients. It's a great way to kind of keep track of that as well. The next section you have is most active contacts. So any of your contacts that are really active on the website, active in communication, you'll be able to see that here. Next, we have the profit share. So anytime you you add somebody to your downline, you'll be able to see the profit share information here. You'll also be able to see, you'll also be able to see how many participants are in your downline, things like that, and let you know when it was last updated. Recent leads, anybody that you may have had join, anybody that may have went to your website and registered an account, you'll see those leads come in here. It'll show you where the lead came from. It'll show you how many days ago the lead came in. And you can also click over on the, so I don't know where it went. You can also click on these three dots and click unmarked lead, or you can add them to a smart plan straight from this little widget. And then you also have your, this is like the Market Center update. Not all market centers use this widget. So some market centers do still use the training calendar some other way, whether it's like a Gmail calendar, Google Calendar, whether it be some other method. But if you are part of a market center that does use this, you'll see like little pictures or words and things like that here. If your market center does not, it'll just show like a blank calendar and it'll say there's no information to be displayed. Now, if you are part of multiple market centers, you are able to click on, there'll be a little arrow down here to drop down, and it'll show all the other market centers that you are a part of. And then you can just select through the market. Let me show you, I can actually show you what that looks like real quick. Because that is kind of interesting to know, especially if you are part of multiple market centers. So this is the same widget that I was just referring to. So you'll see there's a little arrow with drop downs, and this you can select through them here. So if your market center does not use this feature, this is what it will look like. So just keep an eye on that. Like if you're seeing this on your widget, make sure that you're staying in touch with the Market Center and their training calendars so you don't miss out on any of the classes and events coming up. Profit Show Notepad recent leads. Goals, tasks, product updates. I'm pretty sure that was it for all of the widgets. All right, so moving along, we're going to go ahead and just go down over here to each section. Now, if you're not familiar with what all these different icons are, one great way to kind of help familiarize yourself with them is this red KW square. If you click on that, it does also pop out all of the different sections for you. So it kind of is just a cool way to keep, see where you're going and versus just kind of trying to memorize the icons. So the first section we're going to go ahead and go to is our contact section. All right, so inside of our contacts, you're going to see here at the top, you're going to see the search bar. This allows you to search by, you search through your contacts via first or last name. You can search via email address or their physical address that you have on file, or you can just search everything. Next to that, we do have our filters, our filter section. This also allows you to filter through your contacts by any kind of more specifics. So if you have a certain tag assigned to a bunch of contacts and you want to search through that tag, you can do so here. You also have the option to search contacts only or leads only, or you can do all. And there's also a lot more other ways you can filter as well. Now, once you, if you use a certain filter quite frequently and you are not wanting to have to go filter, click filter and go searching through there, you can save a filter and that's going to be called a smart view. So again, a smart view is just a saved filter search. So you can just click on smart view and click create smart view and follow the instructions. Super easy to create a smart view to always be able to use the same search filter without having to go and manually do it. Now over here to the right, you see that we do have our import option. When you select the import option, you're going to see this upload file. Now there is two different ways you can upload your database. Well, technically there's actually three. So one is you can download this template. The template is going to have a header that automatically downloads with it. That header must not be adjusted or else command will reject your import. And you do have to add the information in accordingly. It can be anybody that's ever used command before using this import option knows that it's not the easiest to do. It can be a little bit of a headache. So we just honestly highly suggest the second option. We just suggest sending us your file with your login information. We'll go ahead and make sure that we reformat it correctly to get ready for import. We'll send it back to you so you can approve it first before we actually do the import. And then we'll get it ready. We'll import it for you and we'll send over confirmation of it. So, and then the third option is going and just clicking through. If you have a file already on your computer that may not be done with this template, you can just drag and drop the file here, and then you'll have to go through and just select what you're wanting, which can be kind of a long staking process also. So we just suggest going ahead and send it to us. We'll go ahead and get it handled for you. Next to the import option, you do have the add contact. This is how you can add a single contact when you can add a little bit more detail at a time. The only thing that is required to add a contact is going to be a name. Once you have your contact added, you can do things like add relationships, which we suggest when you have a married couple or spouses of sorts, or just any kind of relationship between two people. Add them in separately. So add John Doe, save, and then add Jane Doe, save, and then go back into their contact and click add relationship. Well, let's see. And then when you click add relationship, it's going to allow you to, one, select what kind of relationship is it. So you can do daughters, sons, brothers, fathers, mothers, and then you're going to select the other contact. So it would be Jane Doe, and then you're going to click add. And then you're going to want to make sure too that both of these have the same exact address on file. So if you do things such as like mailing labels, it won't add them separate. It won't have them as two different separate ones. It'll just have them as one. But again, this option gives you this allows you to add as much information as you can, such as, phone numbers, lead source type. You can mark it as a lead. You can add a tag straight from here. So if you already have a tag created you want to use, or if you want to create a new tag, you can create a custom tag here. And then there's also the add more information option. So you can add more contact information, information about them, such as birthdays, home anniversaries, things like that. Once you have everything done, you're going to want to make sure you click create, which I'm going to click cancel. And then that's going to create the contact for you, which again, we do have some great training videos on this as well. So feel free to go check out, we'll check out our YouTube page on that. All right, next to the add contact button, we do have these three dots right here. This is going to be your export options. So if you need to export a copy of your database, you can do export all owned contacts. When you do this, it will give you a prompt here that's letting you know that it is being processed, to wait a few minutes and refresh your page, and then check your notifications. So when you check your notifications, let's see if there's one in here. You'll see this notification that says contact export. Your request to contact export is complete, and then you just download it. Then this will download it to your computer. So once you click the export option, it does not automatically download it. You have to follow those couple of steps. But you do also have your export mailing labels, CSV and PDF is here also. All right, so moving along, we have this little white bar section here. First, you see customized columns. Just like our home screen where you can customize the home screen, you can customize the columns that you see on these on your contacts. So you can select what information you're wanting to see. There is a lot of different options here. And then you are also able to reorder the way that you see them. Whenever you get everything that you like, all the information, and you like the way it looks, just make sure you click apply. And again, this is what's going to show you the information that you just reordered and you checked or unchecked. Now, keep in mind too, because the way these columns are laid out, a lot of times people think that certain contacts are missing tags. All you have to do is just kind of hover over, and you'll see that you can click and drag this, and it'll show the rest of the tags, or you can just click on the contact name, and it'll show all the tags associated with that contact. So it's not missing any. Moving on, we have these two different view icons here. I call them this one like list view, which is what we're currently looking at. And this one's kind of like a tile view, or whatever you want to call it. This way, it does have a little bit more bulky. It doesn't really show as much information as versus this one kind of shows a lot of information, whichever your preference is. And then next to that, we have our show options. So you can click on this and it'll allow you to change the number of contacts you can view at one time without having to switch to the next page. So if you have a lot of contacts and you're not wanting to view 10 at a time, this is how you can change it to view more without having to page over each time. Now, another cool thing that, again, I mentioned earlier about the 5,000 emails. One of the new features, whenever you click on this little square next to the name, this is going to make a box appear, a drop down appear here. When you click on this, it's going to give you a lot of different bulk actions. So this is how you can click on 5, 6, 10, 30, however many contacts you're wanting to do a bulk action for. And you can click on this drop down where you can add them all of them to a smart plan, email list, things like that. You can add tags to them. Or another thing that you can do is now you can send an email. Now, sending an email this way is it's not like through a smart plan or a campaign. It is just a regular email. All of the contacts that you selected, so say you selected 30 contacts, all 30 of those contacts will show here in the to section. They will not, however, when you send it to them, one contact will not be able to see that other contacts were included on that email. So it'll look like you just sent them the email and nobody else. So that's pretty cool. Even though there's no CC or BCC section, it will not show that you sent it to a bunch of people. But again, even doing these one-off emails, you have so many different options to change the font, change the font size, all kinds of things. There's even a signature section here where you can click add signature, click manage signatures, and you can add a new one. Now, unfortunately, you are not able to add an image like an email signature with your headshot, things like that. You can't add those yet, but you are able to put words and you can put a link. So when you type out the words, whatever text you want, you can highlight it and then click the link and link it to a website if you want. So that's a pretty cool new feature as well. So when you're wanting to just send out some emails, you can do that. Now, keep in mind too, this does use out of that 5,000 free emails you use a month. So this isn't like using a regular Gmail where you can send more than that. It does come out of this. So you are able to update your subscription amount by clicking on this link here. And whenever they do reply, the reply to will come when you click on their name. It'll send you a notification, but you'll be able to see it here in the timeline. And that brings us to the inside the contact card. This is where you'll see a lot of the information. If you see this little L next to their name and that green square, that means that they are marked as a lead. If you see next to an L, you see another little greenish icon with kind of like a check mark. That means that they registered an account either on your mobile app or your website. In order for you to create and send saved searches to a client, they must have that little icon saying that they registered an account. If they never register an account, you will not be able to create and send saved searches for them. Over here, you have the timeline. You have all the information that has transpired between both of you. So anything that you've sent them, any activity, you'll be able to see here. You can also see their opportunities, the smart plans, tasks, notes, things like that. Alrighty, moving along, we're going to go ahead and jump into tasks. So tasks is basically broken down into 3 different sections. You have your to-dos, your completed, and your archives. Now, in each one of these 3 sections, you do have the ability to create a new task. Basically, the to-dos, you'll be able to see what tasks are to do, when they're past due, the dates, things like that, where it was created from. Same with completed. You'll be able to see when the date was due, who completed it, and the date that it was completed. And archived is going to basically be the same information. Archived is kind of like moving it out of these. It's not quite deleted. It's just the archive folder. Next, you have your smart plans. Smart plans is an automated way to be able to stay in communication with your database. So you can create a smart plan for all different kinds of things to stay in touch. You can set it up to have a 6-month, like send an email once a month for 6 months, to where all you do is set it up and then you're not having to actually do it each and every month. There's all different kinds of ways to utilize a smart plan. So first, we're going to go ahead and jump into the library and we'll come back to the My Smart Plan section here. Now, the library is going to show you all the different smart plans that have been created by, whether it be KW agents, whether it's KWRI, whether it's us. There's all different kinds of smart plans that are created by so many different people. Basically, one rule of thumb to kind of think about is why recreate the wheel if you don't have to. There's so many different smart plans that are published here in the library from agents. So I just always suggest searching for what you may be looking for. And I always use the Thanksgiving as an example. There's 278 Thanksgiving smart plans. So you can look through them, view the steps, read what the information is about to see if it's something maybe that you have that you're wanting. When you click on view steps, That's just the email. They're pretty much all this one's send a text. So it does have the contact information where it says Happy Thanksgiving, and when you assign your contact to it, it's gonna add the contact's name. Um, just basically a short little text. But you can read the information, view the steps, see if that's something you like. If it is something you like, you can click Add Smart Plan. It'll ask you to rename the smart plan, and then it'll add it to your My Smart Plans library. Now, under your smart plan library, you have people plans, which are plans that have been downloaded from the library. There are going to be some default plans on there already. You'll see over here under the contact section. So if you see an eyeball with a number, that shows you how many of your contacts in your database are currently set up on that smart plan. If you want to see what contact is, you can just click on the eyeball, and it'll show you what Sally Sample is currently utilizing this monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan. If you want to remove that person, you can just click on the little checkbox next to it and remove them from the smart plan. Now, moving along, you can see the date it was created, how long this smart plan runs for. So this runs for 31 days, and the total number of touches. If you want to add more contacts, you can click on this Add to Contact button, or you can even click on the Edit Smart Plan. When you click on Edit, it's going to bring you to the Smart Plan Editor. Now, you can see here, so step one, it's the monthly neighborhood update, and then it waits 30 days and it resets. So it'll redo this again. It'll keep doing it until you decide to turn it off. So a great smart plan to have. And then if you would like to say you want to delete a smart plan, you can click on the three dots and you can click the delete option. Now, keep in mind, you are not able to delete a smart plan if you currently have any contacts assigned to that smart plan. So you would have to remove the contacts before you are able to delete it. And then over here in the top right, you do have the create option here if you would like to try and create a smart plan yourself. You can do that here. All right, moving along, we have our referrals, which again, tomorrow we do have a referrals class that I will be teaching at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And that we are going to be going more in depth into referrals here as well. So this is the referrals overview. You can see how many pending invites you have by other KW agents that have requested you to join the referral network. Pending referrals received sent. You can see everyone in your referrals network down here. You can track referrals. You also have the option to create a new referral. So you can do this by two options. You can select an in-network agent to send a referral. So this would be selecting an agent that is currently in your network, which is going to take you to the map. We're actually going to go back to the dashboard. Go back here. Now you can also click the dropdown and select an agent using the dropdown there. Once you have the agent selected, just follow along the rest of the information, and then you can click send. So next over here, we have my referrals. This is going to break down into referrals received, sent. You can also see there's all these different little sections about pending, active, funded, things like that. Next, you have the referrals map. This is going to be a great way to, if you're searching for other referral agents, say you have a client, you want to find an agent to where they're moving to, you can do that by here. There is 4 different ways you are able to search referrals for referral agents, things like that. You can select the drop down and do that here. And then you have My Network. My Network is just, again, all of the different agents that are currently in your referral network. You can see, again, over here, how many pending referral network invitations you have. Yeah. All right, next we have our opportunities. When you click on opportunities, it is going to automatically default to your team pipeline. Next to your team pipeline, you will see that you have your personal opportunities pipeline, but it's always going to default to the team. So the opportunities pipeline is going to break down from listings, buyers, and leases. You'll be able to see all the different stages, as well as the number of opportunities that you currently have in each one of those stages. Based on those numbers of transactions you have in per each stage, it is going to populate a GCI, potential income, and probable income over here on the right-hand side. And then down here at the bottom, you're also able to see those kind of numbers, statistics down here as well. When you go to one of these stages that have the opportunity, you are able to move the opportunity from stage to stage by just clicking, dragging, and dropping. And then you can just click over and continue moving it however you'd like. Now you are also able to click on the name of the list, the opportunity, and it's going to take you into the opportunity details. You also have your documents section where you can upload your opportunity documents or go to DocuSign or Dotloop for that opportunity. You are also able to create your new opportunity here. If you have a new opportunity you need to add in, make sure again, if you are part of multiple market centers, that you are selecting the correct market center from the drop down. Because if you create an opportunity, say you're part of 2 market centers, you put it in, say, Atlanta, Decatur, but it's actually supposed to be in Cherry Hill, you are not able to transfer that opportunity from market center to market center. You would have to recreate the opportunity. It's not like it's hard, it's just time consuming, and we know time is money. So just make sure you're keeping an eye on the market center. Then you just go through and complete all the rest of the information and then click create. And it will add it to the pipeline with the corresponding information that you added. So, all right, moving along, we do have campaigns. All right, so with campaigns, you have your paid ads, you have your emails, direct mail, and social posts. Paid ads are ways to attract new clients. You can do paid ads on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, and there is even an option to create a TikTok if you are a TikTok kind of person. When you click on the campaign's quick start option, it's going to bring you to this page, which has these different quick start options for you. You can see that these ones run to Facebook and Instagram. These are also, I believe, Google ads. I'm not quite sure what this one is. But then you also have down here at the bottom the non-listing video upload, and it has the little TikTok symbol. So this is the quick start option for paid ads. All right, so there's also under the paid ad section, you do also have some videos, some I don't know why I can't speak today, some helpful videos with paid ads here. You do have the manage paid ad campaign section, so you can manage your listings, recruiting, attract buyers options here as well. Now, in each one of these sections, there's also this create campaign option where you can click on this and then just select the kind of campaign you're wanting to create and follow the steps that way. You do have your emails. So your emails is going to also show you here how many you've mailed out in the last 30 days, how many recipients you've had, how many have opened those emails, how many clicks you've actually received. You'll see here as well, you have that 5,000 emails sending with command option that you've only had 5,000 per month, and you have the option to upgrade your account again. As I said, you will see this many different places throughout command. Down below, you do have your overview where it lets you know the status of the campaigns you've sent out. So you see that's mailed, this one was canceled, this one's still in draft. Now, if there's one that's been completed and mailed out, you can click on the name of it, and it's going to show you how many were sent, how many got delivered, how many were opened, clicked, if anybody unsubscribed, things like that. You'll see the information here. And then you'll also see the name, the recipient's information over here. Right, moving along to direct mail. This is where you're gonna be able to create your postcards straight here, right here in Command. You can create a design, bring them over into the direct mail campaign. You'll be able to select the neighborhood you're wanting to send these postcards to. And then once you have it all created, they'll send to a third-party company that actually does the printing and mailing out to these neighborhoods that you're targeting. So that's pretty cool. As you can see, these are all, we have all used drafts for these. We don't actually send any out. And then you also have your social post. Social post just allows you to select a date. So say June 22nd, you have an event coming up, you want to create a post, you can just kind of schedule it to go out and set it up on that date from here. So that's pretty cool too. All right, next we have our reports section. So the reports dashboard, this gives you an overview of a database overview. So this lets you know total records, how many contacts you have, how many people are entered into your database. So there's 54 people entered in the database. Of those 54, 38 of them are contacts and only 16 of them are marked leads. Again, you can see your database health with, again, the percentage with 41% phone numbers out of all of our contacts. Out of the 54, only 78% of them have an email, address, neighborhoods, things like that. You also have a database activity score. So you can see 5.6% have been reached out to within the last 30 days. Within the last 60 days, 5.6% have been reached out to in our database, things like that. So it kind of lets you know how much you're staying in communication, how much information you have, things like all kinds of things. All right, the reports section. So you can change it. This is currently showing you the opportunities report. You can switch to the database report or the goals report. So again, the database report is just kind of repetitive. The database health score, things like that. You can see your goals report if you have your goals set up, which is going to be the next section we're going to talk about. So if you have set up your goals for the year, just kind of show you what the goal percentages are, where everything's at. And then you have your opportunity support, how many total opportunities, new opportunities that came in, the volume, average time, things like that. All right, so again, the goals section, if you've not set up your goals for the year, it's never too late. It's only halfway through the year. So you can go to goal settings. It's going to take you to like a pop-up window where it's going to give you instructions and go through setting up your goals. You can see the profit tracker. You can see these different breakdowns, all according to what kind of goals you set up. If you are on a team and you have lead routing, you can also see the lead routing information here, the statistics for that, how many different, what agent has received how many leads, how many of those leads were worked and closed per agent, all different kinds of things. Emails, this is going to be where your email breaks down a little bit more than what I've been showing you everywhere else. So this is going to show you how many emails you've sent out of the 5,000 limit per month. You will also be able to see down here at the bottom how many in the last 30 days have been marked as spam. So 3 emails have been sent, 0 has been marked as spam. So that's good. And you can also here at the top, you can change it from applet, all applets. You can just do campaigns, smart plans, others. But we're also going to change it. We're going to look at, let's see how last month looked. Yeah, this is good. So you can see under delivery engagement, how many were delivered, 2 of them weren't delivered, how many of them were open, clicked, and if there was any unsubscribed, you'll be able to see that here. But you can click on view details to see who actually viewed what you opened, what you sent them, the email subject of what it was that you sent. So you can kind of keep track on it. And you can also see if somebody's unsubscribed. If you want to remove people that unsubscribe from your database, you can view that information here by just clicking the view details. And then text and calls. If you have Twilio set up on your account, you can see the Twilio information from text and calls. Designs is kind of like Command's version of Canva. You can create all different kinds of things right here inside of Command to use for your marketing, use for posts, things like that. When you go to create design, let's go to print. A lot of people don't realize how many templates are already created in here for you. There's different business card templates. There's, well, I guess WeBrand's not working today, but there's all different kinds of things from like a buyer presentation, listing presentation templates. Let me try one more time for you. Nope. But there's just so many different templates available to you inside of Command. So definitely check those out whenever you get a chance. And if you prefer Canva and you want to use a design that you may have created inside Canva, you can import designs as well. The next section you have is your listing section. If you have your listing, your MLS connected to your Command account, which if you do not, your MCA is the only person that's able to connect that for you. We don't even have access. You don't have access to your MCA has to do it. But you'll be able to see any listings that you have. You can create internal, Market Center exclusive listings only right here through create new listings. So that's a pretty cool feature, being able to do that. But you are able to also search other listings in the MLS. Let's just go ahead, and I'm based out of Atlanta, so that's why it's pulling Atlanta market centers. So when you click on one, it kind of looks just like an MLS. You'll see the images, you'll see all the information about it. You can see open house information if they haven't set up, if they have added any of that information. You can see the photos. So you can check out all that information straight from Command. And any links that may have been added, they'll be here also. You can also schedule add virtual tours. Now, right below the listings, you have your consumer section. So your consumer section is going to be your your website and your app for the most part. If you have not updated your KW Agent website to the new websites, I highly suggest you do that, because from what it seems like some features on the old websites are no longer working correctly anyways. So if you want to make sure that you're staying up to date with the most information, you're being able to use everything that's available to you, we suggest updating your website. I do see someone's up. Is this where we can ask for permission to advertise these listings in our social media? I mean, through the listing section, you wouldn't advertise social media through the listing section. You can advertise, like add them on your website, things like that. But if you're just adding like a property on your website, you wouldn't really. I mean, I don't know. You'd have to reach out to them directly. I don't think you can do it through there. There's no like contact the agent button in those listings, so you'd have to call them or text them. But typically, our golden rule of thumb is like, yes, make sure you get permission. Cover all bases. You can always check with your whoever does compliance for your market center. But one thing keep in mind too, if it's on the MLS feeds out to Zillow and Realtor.com. It's public information. So just make sure that you're covering bases if you don't want to get in any kind of trouble. But if it's public information, it's already out there, no harm, no foul. All right, so again, with the website, so if you haven't updated your website, we do have some great information, which I'll show you after we finish with this class in just a moment, where you can find how to update your website. We have some great videos. We provide some great assistance if you need it. But if you have updated to the new website, you'll see this giant blue bar right here on the consumer section. That means you have the new website, you're doing good. You have the most updated website. Scrolling down, you have your website settings. So this is going to be your subdomain where people type into the URL. Keep in mind, KW websites do not use www. A lot of websites nowadays are doing away with those. So if you were to type in www.scottlowrymarketing.kw.com, it's going to show that there's no website found. So you have to just drop the www part and just that. If you want to update your URL, you can just type it in here. and then make sure you click Save Changes. Below that, you have your app URL settings. So this is going to be your app URL that you can share out for people to download your app. Below that, we have team referral links. So you have like your team website URL, your team app link, and your team member app link. You have preferences here. So do you want like to display Keller Home Loans on your app and site, so on and so forth? You can manage those here. And then you have forced registration. Forced registration basically restricts the number of properties anybody is able to view when they go to your site. So if you want them to only be able to view 2 properties before they have to register an account, you can control that here. If you want to say, hey, you can view as many as you want, I don't care. But you know, if you have people viewing your website and you want to capture their information, this is how you would do that. So make sure when everything is updated, you click Save Changes as you go, so you don't lose any of the information you're updating. Now here, edit my website. This is going to take you like in the back end of your website. When I mentioned earlier on our marketing profile that there's 2 different places for the Google Analytics ID that needs to be updated. Well, the other one is going to be here. So when you click on those 3 lines and click on Organization Site, this is where you add the other Google Analytics tracking ID. Just make sure when you enter it here, you click Save. And again, if you would like us to handle that for you, we are great at it. Send us an email. We'll get the Google Analytics set up and added for you. But yes, so this is where you are able to go to see your default pages, any custom pages you've created, or we've created for you, any landing pages. You do also have your website URL here. And if you're a part of a team, you can click on this and it'll have your team link, your team website link here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.